Something I wrote almost a year ago, a power map as of June 28th, 2022. So it needs to be updated, but this is good for the people in power. This is good for the citizens. It shows the citizens who is in charge and who is in charge of what. So Costilla County didn't have a surveyor. Costilla County has a population of 3,500. About 50 people live in Haro, so 790 in San Luis down to 600. So 200 people have left. So 433 live in Fort Garland, and Blanca about 2 to 300. Blanca actually has a police officer, which is interesting. There's only 2 to 300 people in Blanca. Fort Garland has twice as many, and then San Luis has 3 times as many. I would think San Luis probably has one since they got mayors and a city council, but they're not home rule. It's all statutory mayors and city council. 4,072 live in Monte Vista. That means more live in Monte Vista than all of Costilla County. 8,100 is the population of Conejos County. So there's 3,500 people in Costilla County, 8,100 people in Conejos. There's about 2 times as many people in Conejos County. And 4,000 people live in Monte Vista, so therefore Costilla County is smaller than Monte Vista. No home rule cities. None of them are eligible. You got to at least have 2,000. This is the oldest city in the state, and they don't have 2,000 residents. I thought Catholics were known for having children. 2004, Mayor Merle W. Smith of Blanca. That's when he began. He won re-election in 2016, so he's been the damn mayor for 16 years. He says that nobody else wants the job. I doubt it. He's just not, he likes the power. Tiffany, and they got a cop there, so good job. Merle Smith, at least you got a police officer. I'm not sure if there's a cop in Fort Garland or San Luis. They might just rely on the county. Tiffany Gallegos is the mayor of San Luis, but her term expired April 22, so I'm not for sure. Kimberly Allwood, she is no longer the Costilla County judge. That's been replaced, so we'll have to update that. The 3 county commissioners were Stephen Romero, Michael Gallegos, and Robert Espinoza. District 1, 2, and 3. Romero 3, Gallegos 2, and Espinoza 1. Romero's the chair, and then Espinoza is the vice chair, and then the commissioner to convey is Gallegos. Fernando Martinez was running for the commissioner number 2 spot. Costilla County Attorney Nicholas Sarmiento. Now, this might be the most powerful man in Costilla County and Conejos County is Nicholas Sarmiento. He's also the county attorney for Conejos. So even though the people in Costilla County tend to stay there and the people in Conejos County tend to, Nicholas Sarmiento actually bridges the gap. There is a commonality. There is, besides being the 2 poorest counties in the state, they also have the same county attorney, Nicholas Sarmiento. Costilla County Administration, Julie Albert, Elaine Velasquez. You got the CFO, you got the payroll clerk, Ben Doon, the chief administrator officer, Aisha Williams, accounts payable clerk, James Rodriguez, road and bridge timekeeper. Now, this is just information I found online, too. I was wanting to pass this, around to the people in charge and say, hey, does this look right to you? Danny Sanchez is the sheriff, and he's been the sheriff since 2018 for 4 years. He ran unopposed, and he won. I mean, he made sure that he didn't have any competition. Soto Cruz is the undersheriff. And Soto Cruz doesn't want to testify at trial for why he arrested me. Why wouldn't he want to testify at trial for why he arrested me? Planning and zoning. Let's see, Lorraine Medina was, treasurer. I just got a planning and zoning question mark, so maybe I don't have. Planning and zoning is completely changed. Lorraine Medina is the treasurer, staff of the treasurer, Annette Carino, Francis Rodriguez, Luis Segura, Abe Valdez, April Valpando, Mariah Medina. Lorraine Medina was the treasurer, and now you have Vigil. Michael Vigil's the treasurer. So that staff, I don't know if the staff stays the same. If you got a brand new treasurer, he should have brought in his own staff, because some of these people might not be as loyal. Thomas Aragon is the assessor of Costilla County. Thomas Aragon. So Michael Vigil is the treasurer, Thomas Aragon is the assessor, and Romero and they lost. Somebody lost. So Gallegos didn't run, right, and so that ended up being Espinoza. I forget. The staff of the assessor, Thomas Aragon, his staff is Rhonda Labato, Pamela Vigil, Steve Valdez, Lauren De Leon, and Angelica Valdez. The clerk and recorder is Najandine Playsek. That's the clerk and recorder. There's also the full title is county clerk, recorder of deeds, and clerk of the board of commissioners. Sherry Vigil of San Pablo is the coroner. Sherry Vigil of San Pablo is the coroner. Jeremy Brish and the 5803426. Jeremy Brish is the apparent road and bridge superintendent. John Medina says he's been the road and bridge superintendent at Costilla County since 1998. Which is it? Is it John Medina? Is it Jeremy Brish? Is it both? Was it him and then it changed and I just hasn't been updated? Sierra Grande superintendent of the schools. Then he just get in trouble. It says none, Sierra Grande, but then it says the school board, Walter Roybal. Esmeralda Martinez, Catherine Lancaster, treasurer Raymond Garcia. So Sierra Grande Schools in Blanca, the Sierra Grande School District Board of Education is seeking highly qualified superintendent. Centennial superintendent. Centennial Schools in San Luis. Toby Melster, a Hiawatha native. Toby Melster has been offered a superintendent of schools position for Centennial R1 District. J. Leah Maestas, valedictorian. Angela and J. Lee should become county commissioner, sheriff. The 12th Judicial District. Okay, now you got the judge and the clerk appointments, DA and the magistrate. So Michael A. Gonzalez. What's A? Anthony. Anthony was my confirmation name. Anthony is also one of my coolest cousins and my uncle who had died young. He was 18 years of age and got into a car wreck in 1973. Anthony Gripshover. So Michael A. Gonzalez is the chief judge, and he's been the chief judge since 2011, so 12 years. The 3 district court judges. Remember, this is as of June 2022, so if you're like, it's not updated, then update it, okay? Because this has been written, and we can only make it better and more precise. The more precise that we all understand, we need to get on the same page. The people in power is in power for our benefit, and so we, the people, need to know who's in power, and the people in power need to know who's in power. Everybody needs to know who's in power. The 3 district court judges, Kim Cortez Rodriguez, Krista Newmeyer Olson, Amanda C. Hopkins. The 6 county court judges, Jason T. Kelly, Conejos County, John W. Stenger, Rio Grande County, Judge Daniel Walzel, Alamosa County Judge. Costilla County has changed. I forget the new name for Costilla County. Ruth M. Atchison. It was Kimberly L. Wood. Mineral County Judge is Ruth M. Atchison, and the Saguache County Judge is Craig Schuneman. 2 magistrates, Craig Schuneman and, well, at least one. Christina A. Wingert, Court Executive. Chief Probation Officer Bill Gurul. Felix Gallegos, clerk of court. Felix Gallegos. Is Felix Gallegos the same one that shot and killed Byron Garcia, the clerk of the court? Well, no wonder he didn't get charged with the crime. Felix Gallegos, he was a part of the county government, the clerk of court. I wonder if I've seen him. The clerk of court, is he the clerk of the courthouse clerk for, oh yeah, okay, so, but not for the, so he's the clerk for the judicial branch. Even, God, he's actually pretty close to the center of power. He didn't even get charged with the crime. He didn't get arrested. He killed a man. He didn't get arrested. He didn't have to put up a $5,000 bail bond. Didn't have to go to trial. Didn't have to get disrespected over and over again for standing up and defending himself. And I heard he drove from Alamosa. Is this a different Felix Gallegos? How many Felix Gallegos could there be? He lives in Alamosa and works here. I guess he's got a business down here. That's interesting. Jennifer L. Pacheco, Clerk of Court, Alamosa County. Shelly Quintana. Quintana, that's what I was thinking. I think it's Quintana's the commissioner now. Clerk of Court, Costilla County. Brandia Taylor, Clerk of Court, Saguache County. Holly G. Wheelwright, Clerk of Court, Mineral County and Rio Grande. Jury Commissioners, Lachelle Montano, Alamosa, Conejos, all of them. Costilla, Mineral, Rio Grande, Saguache. Family Court Facilitator, Carly Tarnutzer. Self-represented litigant coordinator, Lisa Menzel. There's no point in calling that person Lisa Mizell. Well, I can't give you this and that and this. What are you doing? The self-represented litigant coordinator. You should just be able to say, here's some things. Okay, here's this, here's that, here's this. You should have things ready just to say. That's your job. That's your job. Hey, I'm representing myself. I ain't got nothing to say. I'm not allowed to tell you nothing. Okay, then why are we paying you? DA of 12th Judicial District was Alonzo Payne, and then Ricardo Rivera was the assistant DA. Now, Alonzo Payne, he can't go out and make an arrest. He's not going to go out to the scene. He's not going to see if what he's doing in the courtroom is actually effective out in the field. He doesn't care. If the cops bring him Anne Frank, he's going to try to take Anne Frank and just, put her in the wash, put her in the mud, just kind of rake her over the coals. So DA of 12th Judicial District was Alonzo Payne and Ricardo Rivera. Ricardo Rivera, he leaned back and was like, these accusations are very serious. And when I told him about the other criminals, they didn't give a shit. They didn't give a flying fuck whatsoever. And what's, the DA, I feel like you don't want to just go along to get along. A lot of the judges, of course, want their asses kissed. But the DA right now, with the way that Colorado is, they're the leaders. They're like probably more powerful than the sheriff. And so since the DA is more powerful than the sheriff, all the sheriffs, so it's the DA is more powerful than all six sheriffs. All six sheriffs are nothing without the DA. They could arrest anybody that they want to arrest, but if the DA doesn't file the information, they didn't do shit. They didn't care about victims' rights. They didn't give a shit about the crimes that were happening over and over again. I got it on camera. I've called several times. I wrote one report. I told this person. I told that person. I wrote 5 pages. None of it matters. None of it matters. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody gives a shit. Oh, these charges are real serious. Oh, yeah. Yeah, real serious, huh? I saw him go in, and now he's just like What happened to your captain there, Ricardo Rivera? Such a fucking asshole, and it's, bittersweet, because I wanted them to do well. But they needed to fuck me over to save face. That's how they were going to save face, by fucking me over. No telling how many criminal motherfuckers. They were giving sweetheart deals and all this other fucking bullshit. Let's see here. Some phone numbers for the clerk's offices, district court matters. Let's see here. Just, you got Michael, Amanda, Neumeyer Olson, Kim Cortez Rodriguez, County Court Matters, Daniel Walzel, John Stinger, Jason Kelly, Kimberly Wood, Ruth Atchison, not Kim Wood, not anymore. I did this alone, and I just repeat it because it's like, where'd this WebEx link? Craig Schooneman. Oh, Craig Schooneman. Carly Tarnutzer. And there's no surveyor for Costilla County. I'm just going to go straight to Conejos County. So what is the power map for Conejos County? Population 8,130. There's 100 cities in Colorado that's got home rule charter, home rule authority. Some people think the feds are on top and then the states are on bottom and then the counties are on the bottom. Others think counties are on top and the cities are on top, the local village. We the people are in charge. So therefore the village is in charge, and then the state, and then the feds. So I like that Colorado has 100 home rule cities. You got the city of Ouray. Sanford is also home rule. Sanford is home rule. Antonito, home rule. No. Shit. Sanford, yes. Antonito, no. But they got 15 damn city councilmen. La Jara home rule, no. Antonito home rule, no. I bet you they got 2,000 people in. No, I guess that all the populations of the major cities are actually less than 1,000. Antonito only has 647. You need 2,000 in order to become a home rule city. Romeo has 302 people. Manassas has 947 people. La Jara has 730 people. Antonito 647 and Sanford 879. All under 1,000. And Sanford's under 2,000. And Sanford's only got 900. I don't know if they've just been losing people, if maybe there's a lower standards back in the 1830s. 3 county commissioners: Mitchell Jarvis, Carlos Garcia, Joseph Burrows. And Connie Ritchie is the HR director. So Joseph Burrows, Carlos Garcia, and Mitchell Jarvis is the 3 county commissioners of Conejos County. The sheriff, Garth Crowther. Blake Crowther is the undersheriff. I wonder if they're related. Brandon Stevens, deputy sheriff, was awarded life-saving award by Garth and Blake. So you have Brandon Stevens, Garth, and Blake. Richard Martin is the coroner. It's different than Alamosa County. Conejos County actually has a coroner. Alamosa is like, Costilla doesn't have a surveyor. Alamosa doesn't have a coroner. Nathan Rubal, county clerk, recorder of deeds, clerk of board of commissioners, serving the citizens of Conejos County. The clerk and recorder's office shall be ex officio, recorder of deeds, property transfers, mortgages, plats, liens. Annabelle R. Gomez, deputy clerk. Martin Reynolds, engineering surveyor. Conejos has a surveyor, so I bet you that's why there's more peace. I mean, good property lines, strong property lines make for good neighbors. Mark Crowther is the Conejos County treasurer, constitutional officer. The treasurer is responsible for collecting, investing, and dispersing county funds. The treasurer's office mails property tax notices to the owner of record, collects property taxes, and disperses taxes to the taxing authorities, school districts, towns, the county special districts, etc. As soon as practical after January 1st each year, the county treasurer is to mail tax notices. Due dates for tax payment. Full payment is due April 30th. U.S. Postal Service postmark is accepted, or half payments. Tressa Martinez is the Conejos County administrator. Naomi Keys is the assessor. The county attorney is Nick Sarmiento, the same one for Costilla County. And then I read here that he's the attorney in the Pueblo Canyon City area. Pueblo Canyon City is way north of San Luis Valley. Does anybody even call him? So he's got a private practice and he lives up north and he doesn't even live in Conejos County and Costilla County. But Nicholas Sarmiento is both the attorney for both the 2 poorest counties in the state. I feel like I want you to live in the county. You don't always have to live in the county, but if you live in the county, I know that you care about our county. If you live in another county, then it's like this is just a job for you, and yeah, you'll come here and you'll push some papers around and say that you did something, but is your heart in it? Do you truly give a shit about the county? And the more I think about it, why would a local official not live in the area that they are? I think that they have to. They better, that should be law too. That's not just logical. Jason T. Kelly is the judge for Conejos County. There's 3 school districts: Sanford, South Conejos, and North Conejos. In Conejos County, Kurt Wilson was a superintendent, and they get $95,000 per year. That's a nice job. There's over 1,000 students in North Conejos. I don't know if these other people are still there. You got Brad Huffaker, Randa McCarroll, Gail Gallegos, Dory Quintana, Amber Martinez. The district has 5 school buildings, a bus barn, an administrative building. Manassas and La Jara Elementary houses K through 5. Centauri Middle School houses 6 through 8. Centauri High School houses grades 9 to 12. North Conejos Alternative Program provides services for grades 6 to 12. The district has a population of 1,005 students, 59% of which are Hispanic, 39% Caucasian. The district graduation rate historically averages close to 97%. It's a nice school. They just built it. They just put a bunch of brand new stuff into it. The North Conejos School District has selected 3 finalists for the position of superintendent. So Kurt Wilson was going to be replaced, and the finalist was either Carol Vezani, Darren Edgar, or Tyler Huffaker. Wasn't that part of the administrator, that Huffaker? Brad Huffaker. Okay, so I wonder if Brad and Tyler are related. He was the middle school principal of Centauri, the former 6th grade teacher at Sierra Grande. Darren Edgar, current superintendent, former 4th grade teacher. Carol Vazani, current K-12 principal, athletic director in the Swink K-12 school. Interesting. Board of Education, you got Chuck Finnegan, Stephen Johnson, Mary Jane Valdez, and Harmon Hostetter, and Garth Crowther. And he's the vice president, or was at least. The term ends November 2020. He still is. Nathan Combs. So Garth Crowther is the sheriff and the vice president of the school board. So he's, the sheriff, so he's got a lot of power. And he's one of 6 members of the school board, so he's also, dictating the curriculum too. South Conejos, 5 days ago, Victoria Lopez writes the South Conejos School Board of Education will be conducting a regular school board meeting on the 27th day of June 2022. They say that the Board of Education meeting is held every 3rd Tuesday of the month at the North Conejos Administration Office at 6:30. Call 274-5174 if you have any questions. Femia Martinez Duran, Luis Gallegos, Teresa Cisneros. These are the South Conejos School Board members. Joyce Duran, Christy Duran, Euphemia Martinez Duran, Luis Gallegos, and Teresa Cisneros. 3 Durans. Teresa Cisneros. I wonder if they're related. We want to thank our school board members, Joyce, Christy, Femi, Rod, Teresa. Dr. Emma Martinez is the superintendent. $150,000. Can that be right? Can that be right? Superintendents make superintendent at the South Conejos School District in Antonito, Colorado. Madison Mansheim is the pre-K through 12 principal. Sanford Schools, the average school superintendent salary in Sanford is $156,000. Wow, as of May 27th, 2022, $156,000. Within the poorest school districts, I found your problem right there. You're paying the people in leadership way too goddamn much, and they're not doing shit for poverty. Either do Milton Friedman conservative poverty, or do the government has to get involved, liberal policies. You got to do something. You got to do something about motherfucking. This is capitalist America. You got to have a job or you die. You got to have a job or you die. You got to start a business or you die. Superintendent of Sanford Schools, Kevin Edgar. David Judd, Dina Jaminet. They're the principal of the high school and elementary. Planning and Zoning, Linda D. Herrera. Land Use Administrator, Chris D. Herrera. Land Use Inspector, Septic Inspector, Code Enforcement, Michelle Bradford, Clerical Support Clerk. Land use at co.conejos.co.us. And that's the power map that I came up with in last summer. So it needs to be updated. It needs to be updated, and we need to ask a couple questions and ask the people in power. But again, this is good for the citizens. It's good for the people. You want to know what's going on? You want to know who's in charge? You want to know why it's important that you vote and that you're a part of your republic? Because do you want good leadership? You should care about who is leading your county, who's leading your state, and who's leading your country. In the county, in cities, you can actually see them face to face. You can actually drive to their houses. So not only do they have to, be smart about what they do, but they have to have a winning vision. They have to convince you, the voter, that they know what they're talking about. So in some respects, the local people have less power. The local people in power have less power and more problems because they actually have to look directly at the people and say, these are the policies. So there you go. Power maps of Costilla and Conejos County, Colorado as of June 28th, 2022.